I love this.
Kim, go ahead.
Well, I love it, Hal. I was actually just talking to one of my assistants last night with my daughter's team, and we've had, so these are U9, 7 and 8-year-olds. We've had 36 practices, and they're all 2 hours long, which is 2 teams on the ice together with 8 coaches, many of whom played college hockey or pro. So it's like sometimes we have 10 coaches on the ice. It's pretty awesome. These kids have had a ton of ice time. And I remember saying to my coach last night, I was like, I feel like in U9, like we need 2 seasons. There's so much to teach and they need so much repetition. And so it's been really cool. This is now my 2nd year coaching this age, to figure out what really are the priorities, like not just to bring team success, individual success, correct development. I came from coaching junior and Team Ontario and all of these, and you always write down like neutral zone faceoffs in the practice plan. You just never get to them, but they're there lurking in the background. At this age, we're not doing any of that stuff, right? And you're watching the games and you're just looking for skill sets you want these players to have, knowing they're just at the beginning of their hockey journey. So it's been really amazing to me just to go back to the bottom of the mountain, or I might argue the top of the mountain. This might be the hardest age to coach, in terms of keeping your message consistent and not getting, as we all do as coaches, oh man, our power play was bad yesterday, so now we got to do the power play. Or, oh man, like this other team's got this kind of penalty kill, so now we got to adjust. I mean, we're not adjusting at U9 to anybody. I don't even know who's on the other teams. So it's a really refreshing way to coach, but it also has changed my mindset because I work with teams as their skills coach from U11 all the way up to the national team level. And now I'm coaching those older age groups and levels differently because of my experience at U9, because I'm seeing a different set of priorities with these young kids. And then when I go and observe these older age groups, I'm seeing some of those fundamental things I'm working with U9s aren't there. And we're trying to pile upon, I always joke, once upon a time I ran a camp for adult women, kind of learning to play, where some of them were playing, recreational hockey. And they came to the camp. I'm like, hey, what do you guys want to work on? And they're like, we want to work on power play. I'm like, you can't pass. So like, you can't do the power play until you can pass. And I see those same patterns, obviously with U9, we don't have a power play. But I see that even with the U15, U18 teams I work with. Sometimes as coaches, we watch the NHL, we watch the PWHL, we get caught up in like the way we think hockey should look, and we forget about these fundamentals. And maybe we think it's too late, or maybe we think we don't have the skill set to reinforce, the basics of passing or the basics of catch and release, like Wally said. I mean, I've done that drill that you described from last night, or a version of it, with every single team I've worked with this year, as well as my daughter's team. So I guess it's just a call to action that, especially as we go into playoffs and all, and we think strategic, and we've got to dial in these details. It goes back to what we said at the beginning. The habits are the most important thing. And if we don't fix them and reinforce them at U9, U11, U13, then we get to U15 and 18, we want to fix the power play, and we realize they can't receive a backhand pass. Right. So we're a little bit limited. But anyways, I got to run, guys, because I have a whole day of...
Thanks for coming on, Kim. Really appreciate you anytime.
Yeah, I know, Wally. It's always in my calendar, and I just have to figure out how to clone myself, and then I'd be here every week because it's always so valuable. So it's great to see everybody, and have a great weekend.
Okay, take care, Kim.